Hello everyone and welcome to another Robcast, Revenge of the Nerd podcast. How'd you like that little jingle? I just wrote that. Hi guys, it is Rob Sacchetto again, coming from his studio. This is where I do all the zombie portraits and zombie related art. I am the inventor of the zombie portrait, the first zombie portrait service known to mankind on the internets. And I'm very happy to be able to talk to you guys today about my connection with the amazing writer Jonathan Maberry. So this is I thought I would clear up finally and hopefully the question that so many people have asked me over the years, a lot of times at conventions and things, and even on a lot of times online too, when people see like if I post a zombie portrait or something, or if I talk about my zombie portrait service and things like that. People who have read Jonathan Maberry's books, and they're a lot. They ask me if I am the same Rob Sacchetto from Jonathan Maberry's kind of huge book from the series Rotten Ruin. And yes, I am that same Rob Sacchetto. So that's kind of the spoiler alert of the whole of this whole video. However, Jonathan Maberry and I have quite a long relationship. Actually, I guess we kind of talked before this event happened, in which we actually met. We may have talked online a couple of times, and ironically, I didn't know who he was at the time, which is crazy. But I didn't know who he was, and I was just starting out doing the zombie stuff too. But I ended up meeting him at a thing called the World Horror Con in Toronto. Now, I actually don't remember the meeting because I remember the weekend being it was a horrible weekend for me. It was a literary, not literally, but literary convention in which horror writers, came, and was sort of a celebration, a convention based on horror writers. And I was there as a horror artist, and we kind of realized that when we got there, it was more of a literary convention. Like, there were some artists there and stuff, but I could have had a real zombie there with me, and nobody would have paid any attention to me whatsoever. People just looked past me, and it was like, oh, there's an artist over there and whatever, so who cares? So it was kind of funny, but funny, not really, but the weekend was not a total loss, because I ended up, as a result, this is just an aside, as a result, I ended up being in this huge zombie documentary. And the rest is history. So that's for another. I'll talk about that another time in another podcast. But that's where I met Jonathan Maberry, and he was. I don't think at that point he was just starting out. Sort of. I think he had. Now I can't remember. Like, I'm not going to go through Jonathan Maberry's history in this, because I am not entirely sure the points. But I know that this was before the Rotten Ruin series was a thing. I'm certain. And later on he'd asked me if he could show some of my work in some of his books. I think his first book was Patient Zero, and then Zombie CSU, or Zombie CSU, then Patient Zero. I'm not entirely sure, but I have Zombie CSU here. He sent me an issue of it because I have some actual artwork in here, as do many zombie artists. Some still around, some are not around, I don't think, anymore. I haven't heard of them for a while. But Jonathan Maberry was very nice in giving me a very cool, like out of the, primarily newsprint, or regular novel print pages, gave me a nice glossy insert in there. So there's some of my art from way back then, way back when. I'm not sure when this was, when this book was published, but like, I don't know, 20, maybe 07? I don't know. But anyway, a long time ago. So anyway, this was one of the first ones that he had done, the Zombie CSU. It's a very cool book. I am sure it's still available on Amazon or wherever they sell books. So I'm sure that's still in print. So if you're into zombies, and that is like a major information sort of tome. There's tons of cool stuff in there. I would definitely pick that up. It's a fantastic read, such a great read. But getting to the Rotten Ruin books, Jonathan Maberry had asked me if he could include me as a character in his Rotten Ruin book. At the time, it was just the Rotten Ruin book. It wasn't the series. So he'd sent me one, which is awesome. Here it is. Rotten Ruin by Jonathan Maberry, author of Patient Zero, of course. And I'm in here. And on top of everything else, which is super awesome, I got to do the inside illustrations, the inside jacket illustrations, of the card series that is mentioned in the book. In fact, here's some more on the inside back cover and inside cover. And I know it just gets better. I got to do Jonathan Maberry's actual zombie portrait. Which, you know what? This is literally one of my favorite portraits I've ever done. I know that sounds like cheesy because I'm doing like a story on Jonathan Maberry and I'm featuring him. But every time I look at this one, I'm like, I just love it. I think it's just you know what? I've done literally thousands of zombie portraits, but I really love this one. I love a lot of them, but this one is really one of my favorite ones, likeness-wise and for many other reasons. Anyway, so I'm not only featured as a character, an erosion artist, which is so cool. Like when you think about it, it's like a zombie portrait artist, but he calls it, in this world, he calls it an erosion artist, which is really, really cool. So I got to do more than just be a character in this book. So, he got me a gig basically working for Simon & Schuster, the publisher of his books, which Simon & Schuster is the biggest publisher in the world. So that was mighty nice of them. And that's just it. Jonathan Maberry is such a fantastic guy. Not just a Bram Stoker Award winner for his writing and New York Times bestseller list writer. He's a fantastic individual. So kind, so awesome, but also so deadly because he's into karate and he's got a katana and all that stuff. He's just a really cool guy. He's one of those dudes who's like living the dream of being the author and all, just being this bigger than life type of individual. So I have to say I'm very fortunate to know him, to have been part of his continued sort of history and future in terms of the books. So the books, there's the Rotten Ruin book, which of course you can get through Amazon. It definitely has to be in print. And again, he's one of those writers who writes books that you typically cannot put down. Once you start reading his stuff, it's like very hard to put down. And I'm not a reader guy, man. I'm a comic book dude. I like reading. I'm a comic book reader guy. So it's like word balloons are nothing, man. But when you start reading this stuff, and when I first started reading this stuff, I like looked for my part of this, and then, you know, I'm like, okay, I gotta go back even further and further and further, and start from the beginning. So, you know, it's so easy to get hooked. So he gave me this awesome role in this book, and I'm forever grateful for that. So there's Rot and Ruin, and so there's also Dust and Decay, which is the second book. Again, year after year, and look at that. He gave me a nice little note in there. And again, I got to do the illustrations inside. And I would use for these illustrations especially, I would use Friends. The first one, I actually used my brother for the mechanic as a model. Here I used two of my friends, Bruce and Mark, for these characters here, and the characters in the front. This is just a little bit of inside info. I used friends of mine and that. So I would use friends of mine to create, you know, I get the description from Jonathan Maberry. I get the description from Jonathan about like who the characters were, what they looked like, what they did, a brief description. And I would go like, okay, cool. What do they have? Like, what are they wearing? And blah, blah, blah. Then I would base that on, you know, I based these characters. Friends of mine would come in the studio. I'd do like a little photo shoot to sort of like stage it. And away we go. And then we come up with these really unique characters. So again, each book, this was Flesh and Bone, another one. And again, I got to do, you know, so every year I get these like, every year or so I get these like, you know, messages like, hey, you want to work on another book? And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, well, of course I want to. You know, I love doing these. I love being a part of them. I am desperately waiting for the Rot and Ruin books to become either a feature film or, even better yet, a TV series based on the books. That would be super awesome. It's got to happen at some point because, like, I remember reading the first book and going like. And I'm not just saying this because, of course, it's easy to say like, "Oh, Rob's just saying that." It's one of those things where you go, "Yeah, this is a TV show." I think it's a TV show almost more than like at the time when I read Rot and Ruin. I thought, yeah, this is a movie. This is a movie, man. But then when the rest of them came out, and now my current thinking is this is like definitely a Netflix series or like an HBO series. Probably a Netflix series. It's a young adult. It's young adult reading. So I would almost go like, oh, Netflix would do it. Almost anyone could, like almost any network could do it. It's so awesome. And it's zombies, man, and there's so much cool stuff. It's not just zombies, like the characters, anyway, you know what? I am not going to talk about it. I'm not going to let this get away from me like I always do, because you have to read the books, man. Get the books, order the books. They are so good. But it's not finished. There is one more little wrinkle to this, which is really, really, really cool. IDW Comics, which... Okay, so you guys know I'm a huge comic book fan. That is not a secret. IDW Comics actually picked up the Rot and Ruin concept from Jonathan Maberry, and he ended up writing a mini-series of Rot and Ruin for IDW Press, and I got to do the alternate covers, man. Yes. Like, I can't tell you how much of an honor and like how utterly cool that is for a nerd like me to not only have done all the, you know, a ton of character designs, like probably, I think there's like 5 per book, 4 books, so like 20 different, at that, 20 different character designs for the books. And then doing all 5 alternate covers for the miniseries of the comics, and I actually have, like, you'll notice this comic here, which I have many of, which I have many copies of course. You'll notice that, and I've also got, I still have the original art, which the original art's huge. If you'll, yeah, you can see the original art's massive, and I still have all the original art for all of the excuse me, covers. So yeah, man, I mean, what an honor. And I mean, this was Jonathan Maberry's doing. This was like him probably going to IDW, like, we gotta get Sacchetto to do these things. You know, so let me ask him. Let me ask him if he wants to. You know, yeah, of course I want to. I do anything and everything that's cool. Like I'll do anything and everything that's cool. Like there's nothing I won't say no to because I just love working. I love drawing. I love creating. So ask me to do anything, I'm doing it. There's no like really should I don't know if that's good. No, I'm doing it. I think this is the raw art cover to issue 2, if I'm not mistaken. And this is for the comic. This is for the IDW Rotten Ruin comic. So these were the subscription only. So anyone who had a subscription to these comics through IDW got these specific alternate covers. So with their subscription. So I did 5 of those. I love doing them, and I mean, my God, they're huge. And I was gonna do them huge, right? So yeah. That was a real joy. They're fully painted. I still have the original art, obviously, for all of them. I have all the original art still for all the books, all the character designs and chase card designs for all the characters I did for the books too, which is such a cool thing to have all the original art, to get to keep all the original art, which you typically I think do nowadays. At least I have throughout my career of working for different companies like IDW and Simon Schuster, the American Playing Card Company, Bicycle Cards, things like that. I have all the original art, except for one thing I think was purchased purchased. The original was purchased off me by Bicycle Playing Cards of one piece, and I think that was for the Bigfoot card deck that I had done. Anyway, long story short, that's what happened. So anyway, it was a great honor working for them too, but honestly, a great honor being a part of Jonathan Maberry's universe that he has built with the Rotten Ruin series. Just fantastic. And all you people that already know of Jonathan Maberry, there it is. I am that Rob Sacchetto. Again, spoiler alert from the beginning, bringing it back full circle. Yeah, I'm that guy. You have to read the books to find out what happens to me. So there's a rich story to be told there alone of my character, and like I said, I am just waiting for this series to become a television show, which is it's destined to. It's got to. I at least I see that anyway. I will maybe talk to Jonathan about that next time I talk to him, whatever that might be. He's a busy dude. He has worked. The guy's worked for. I'm not going to go through his entire bio here, but. He's worked for Marvel. He's done tons of stuff for Marvel Comics. Some great stuff. I think I have everything that he has written for Marvel. I'm pretty sure. There might be 1 or 2 things I maybe don't have, but anyway, I think I have everything that he's written for Marvel. Like the guy's done so much incredible stuff, and again, I am so. Proud to be a part of it. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I just want to, Jonathan, if you're watching this, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your universe and a part of your life in writing. It means so much to an artist dude like me, and thanks a million. It's really a fantastic thing. So it's really part of my my legacy, and I'm very proud to say that it's part of my legacy artistically to leave in this world. So yes, thank you again. So there it is, guys. There's my connection to the writer Jonathan Maberry. I am Rob Sacchetto. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you If you like this video, I would implore you to give me the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about more things involving pop culture, zombies, Lego, comics, wrestling, everything, we're going to do some wrestling stuff coming up eventually soon. I've always wanted to cut a heel wrestling promo for zombie portraits, and I'm working up the steam to do that. And when it happens, I'm gonna unleash it and hopefully entertain you guys even more. So please subscribe to the channel. In the description underneath this video, I'm going to leave my Patreon link. The link to my Patreon page, where you can see new content posted every single day, sometimes even more than every single day. If I have something that is not zombie related but I have created art-wise, I'm going to put it on there and do a new zombie drawing anyway. You will get new content, you'll see new content posted on that Patreon page every single day of my life. So there is thousands of pieces there now to look through. Binge watch it. There's a lot of amazing stuff, guys. I will continue to post things on there. This video will be posted on there. It will be posted on the YouTube channel, of course, and more stuff will be posted on the Patreon page today as well. So thank you again so much for watching. Stay safe, healthy, and happy, and maybe even productive if you have time. If you can, now's your chance. Write that comic, draw that comic, make that movie, short film, whatever. You have time to do it. Get out there and do it if you have time. All you creative folks out there. And again, safety is a must. So whatever the new protocol is, please follow that so you don't get put others in danger. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you again with more content and more fun. Thank you very much, guys.